When we think of Japan today, we think of gigantic cities populated by millions. But it wasn't always that way. In fact, not so long ago, Japan experienced one of the biggest economic booms. People had to move away from the countryside and into cities to work in the emerging field of electronics. With television gaining popularity, theaters were seeing a downfall in ticket sales, and studios had to rethink who their target audience was. They came up with single, working-class young adults who work in building the cities we associate with Japan today. That's how the Japanese exploitation film industry was born. Movies we see today as artfully crafted masterpieces like Lady Snowblood were indeed exploitation films. And a subgenre born from that need, that in my opinion doesn't get the recognition it deserves, is the Roman porno flicks. Erotic films that often used sexual violence to compensate for the lack of penetration. Now, I'm not saying this film deserves to be in the Criterion Collection, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Flowers and Snake is a 1974 film by the legendary studio Nikkatsu. It starts off with our main character having a dream about his childhood, where we see him catching his mother having sex with an American GI during America's occupation. He proceeds to shoot the American GI and then wakes up, and we quickly realize that his life isn't the best. He lives with his mother and she runs a Shibari studio downstairs. Now, for the less cultured gentlemen around here, Shibaru is Japanese for bondage. And over there it's considered an art, and if you don't think it's an art, I highly recommend you watching this movie, it'll change your mind. He is a Japanese salaryman, and if you watch any documentaries about salarymen, you know it's not a fun lifestyle. And over there, he wants a promotion, so he works really long hours and extra hard to get noticed by the boss. But our main character has, what could I describe as, a little sexual degeneracy. He cannot stop looking at bondage pictures, even at work, which gets the attention of his lovely boss. When the boss discovers the picture that our main character brings to work, he thinks that our main character is the one behind the bondage, and he asks our main character to kidnap and turn his wife into a submissive. And that's where the film takes a dark turn, and what he does with the boss's wife, I will let you guys discover. This is one of my favorite movies from the Roman porno genre. This is the type of film you will never see today. Like I explained at the beginning, the film industry in Japan during the 70s was basically exploitation films and one or two art films peppered in there. So you had respected studios like Nikkatsu, respected filmmakers working on what are considered today adult films. And it's something you would never see again. The cinematography is amongst the best that I've ever seen. The music is beautiful. It deals with so many themes that you don't expect a porn to. Themes such as depression, anxiety, work etiquette. Your main character wants to be liked and he wants his promotion so bad that he's willing to do something completely illegal. It deals with loneliness, childhood trauma, childhood repressed memories. It is so impressive that a film from a lesser genre can deal with so many themes and topics and do it so well, so beautifully, so poetically. It gets very dark very quickly. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It deals with some pretty dark fetishes. The contrast between the boss's countryside house that has a more classical Japanese architecture to our main character's home, which is directly in the city, works so beautifully well. Like I said in the beginning, people were moving away from the countryside and into those big cities, and it was a challenge for a lot of Japanese people at that time. A lot of people think of the Roman porno genre as the later 80s, 90s, kind of more extreme fetish stuff, but during the 70s you truly had some great films to come out of that movement because they were produced by well-respected craftsmen. And this one is no exception, and it is truly one of my favorites. And with this video, I just wanted to show people that these films can be truly great films. It was a bit of a joke in the beginning when I said, I don't think this really truly deserves a Criterion Collection, but honestly, what's the difference between this and something like Solo?